Hey everyone, this is the first video in our series on functions. By the end of this video, you should be able to describe what a function is, what the three parts of a function are, and how to use a function in your code. So let's start with that first part. What is a function? When I think of a function, I think of it as code to which you can send input and receive corresponding output. And so, this might seem like a mouthful to start with, but let me illustrate that for you. A great way to illustrate these functions is using a box to describe what that code is. So sometimes you know what the code is in the background, sometimes you don't. But the box will have, the function will have a name. Then it has some input that you send it in, and this input can vary. And based on whatever input you send it in, it will send back to you an output. And these are those three parts of the function: the input, the name, and the output. So again, we have three parts, and those are, the three parts are input, a name, and output. Input is often referred to as arguments or parameters. The name is just the name, and the output is often referred to as the return value. So, again, we have an input, a name, and an output, but let's look at some examples of functions that you already used without even knowing it. Well, the length len function, which is short for length, len, is a function. It has a block of code that runs, and to that code, what you do is you send it an input. So let's say, for example, we send it the string Hassan. And then based on whatever input you send it, it sends you a corresponding output. So for example, here it says, okay, Hassan is 6 characters, so it will send back, it will return 6. If you were to say the length of the string hello, then this would output 5, as this string has 5 characters. And so as you can see, the input determines what the output is, but obviously the function, the code, has to change what it does based on what the input is. So let's look at REPL so we can actually play around with these functions. And so here, what we can do is we can say, let's print, so we can actually see this output, print the length of the string Hassan. So when we run this, we should see, let's say 6, perfect. And instead, if we printed the length of hello, we'll see that it prints out 6 and 5. And so that is how you use a function in your code. All you have to do is you have to say the name of the function, right? So in this case, len, parentheses, the input that you're going to provide to your function, so in this case, Hassan or hello, close your parentheses, and that's it. That will go and calculate whatever it needs to calculate, send back the length, and then in this case we're printing that out, but you could also store that in a variable or do many other things with that. So those are the three parts for today. In our next video, we'll be talking about more of the built-in functions that are available to you in Python. Thank you.